So Peter James pumped out another book in the Roy Grace series last fall. And I'll tell you what, it is really good, just like all the Peter James, Roy Grace books. Now, the book has all your standard good guys. You've got Roy Grace, of course, ace detective, uh, also, a kind of Ask Abby relationship consultant, uh, a do-gooder, but at the end of the day, an absolutely ace detective. Norman Potting, who I gotta say, I think he's getting a little bit worn out. Glenn Branson, Roy Grace's best friend. Cleo, his wife. And there are a handful of other uh, friends that he's got in the thing. Now, you in terms of bad guys, he really scored a hit with this one. He's got some really, really repulsive bad guys. There's no question about it. They're scary individuals, and even when you're just reading the book, they're scary. Now, the story, the plot, when I started it, I wasn't sure I was going to like this book. Of course, it involves a murder. In fact, several murders. But the theme that this thing is about has to do with uh, dog stealing, dog mistreatment, importation of puppies, and things like that. And I got to admit, I'm not really a dog person. I'm not a cat person either, but I'm certainly not a dog person. The thing is, once I got into it, this thing was really good. And as a matter of fact, I started feeling sorry for dogs that are mistreated. I really, really did. Now, the thing that I found interesting, very interesting about the book was Roy Grace runs a raid at a certain point in the book, and he brings out a number of specialized cops. Let me tell you the cops that he rolls out. They're really interesting. He's got public order officers, armed response unit officers, and I couldn't really tell the difference between them. Drone operators, dog handlers, search officers, and a police media team. And also, he uses a thing called a forensic gait analyst. And this guy is able to study a footprint and then look at a drone video of somebody walking along and be able to tie the guy he sees in the video up with this footprint. Well, anyway, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, boy, this is pretty elaborate. He's got a lot of resources to draw on. So I decided I would take a look and see what's the size of the Brighton and Hove Police Department. Well, turns out Brighton and Hove is covered by a thing called the Sussex Police Department. And Sussex, I guess, is a big county. Brighton and Hove is the biggest part of this county, but it's not all of it by any means. And in this county, which has got about, 850,000 people, there are 3,000 cops. So I'm assuming that cops who are working in one part of Sussex County are available to be drawn on for a special purpose in Brighton by Roy Grace. And I'm assuming that these guys with dog handlers, drone operators, and so on have ordinary, regular police responsibilities. So anyway, I thought I'd be able to Google and compare Brighton and Hove crime statistics, police, and things like that to a comparable place near New York City. And it turns out I can't because, you got different ways of counting crimes, different police departments that get involved in different things. But anyway, I don't know why I got into all of this. But as always, a Peter James, Roy Grace book is great. Now, he's got one coming out, according to the back of this book, he's got one coming out in June May or June, about Sandy, who is Roy Grace's vanished wife. And I suppose we'll get another standard Roy Grace book sometime in the fall. Anyway, if you haven't read it yet, Stop Them Dead, read it. Very, very entertaining. That's it for this week.